Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Recently I 5-0'd with red-black mid-range in Pioneer, so I wanted to review my games like I do in most Magic Online tournaments that I do, just to point out the mistakes, point out the good stuff, point out the bad stuff, and try to become better as a player myself, and hopefully I can bring you along and make you a better player as well. So this is the deck list that I 5-0'd with. It's reasonably stocked. There's a few weird things that I'm doing. I like the main deck Duress because I sided in against most matchups anyway, and I like the sideboard Languish over the sideboard Mihut Massacre, because while I see the value of Mihut Massacre and its triggers, I'd rather be able to wipe away cards like Adeline and the red-white Convokers 2 turns before Mihut Massacre can. And so that's why I'm playing one of Languish. I think Invoke Despair is pretty cutesy and like a nice mid-range card and can snipe some enchantments that matter and stuff like that, but the rest of it is pretty stock. So let's jump into my first game. I'm pretty much just going to kind of let the game play at the replay's pace, which is going to be a little quick. And so I'll make comments as we go. I'm not really going to give total play-by-plays, but I'm going to be pointing out mistakes and maybe talking about what I was thinking in certain scenarios. Let's do it. So this round, our opponent was playing Abzan Greasefang. This is a reasonably keepable hand. I can cast my spells. You know, I didn't know they were on Greasefang. It's probably a bad hand against Greasefang with no instant speed removal. So that's like a little awkward. You know, sitting there. I see Rafine's Informant. I kind of like, okay, this is kind of rough. He discards Sky Sovereign. Sky Sovereign's pretty good against me. But then I draw a Braid. So the reason I kept a Braid in my hand, I didn't just Bone Crusher Giant down the Rafine's Informant, is because a Braid can interrupt the combo. And I can just EOT hit the Rafine's Informant if I really, really want to. Discarding Kroxa, I don't want to give him an opportunity to discard a Parhelion if he drew it or something like that. We just get rid of the guy. We miss, and we're able to Thoughtseize them and take a Greasefang out of their hand. So keeping the Abrade in our hand was like really, really smart. Choose to discard the Reckoner Bankbuster to a Seeka's Chariot, and we're in a little bit of trouble here. Right? Gonna try to jam with Seeka's Chariot. We Abrade there. We get rid of our Thoughtseize because now they have 0 cards in hand. And now we can Dreadbore down the Liliana so they can't alt us. And now they just have 2 2/2s with no cards in hand. A top deck Greasefang would be really, really bad for us, but it was kind of a whiff with Satyr Wayfinder. And so now they just have a land in their hand, and we're about to jam a Fable. Oh no, we're going to bring back Kroxa, I forgot. Yeah, because we know they have a land in their hand. Yep, and just try to end the game as fast as possible. You know, I think we played really well leaving the Abrade up. And then the next turn, drawing the Thoughtseize, and we're able to just kind of stabilize with their mid-range plan. A top deck Greasefang is still really bad, but they whiff on the Grizzly Salvage for the most part. And, yeah, just kind of insane. Man up Den, and I think that's lethal. At least it's very close. At least it's beyond being able to top deck a Greasefang. We can just attack through Parhelion next turn. Or no, we wouldn't be able to attack through Parhelion next turn. Yeah, okay, so we just need to miss that one last Greasefang. But, you know, we stabilized there. You know, it's just the long and short of the match. Game 2, now we know we're playing against Greasefang. I keep this hand because, you know, we're okay with playing Land Go in the early games. Drawing the Thoughtseize was insane. But we kind of play Land Go in the early games. We can interrupt the combo with Heartless Act and then play Bankbuster and just kind of leave it up. If they don't do anything, then we just draw cards and stuff. Keeping a hand like that's way better on the play because we can turn 2 Bankbuster without being worried about being comboed. But they play the Greasefang. We kill it. Now we have nothing to kind of interrupt or anything. So we just play the Bankbuster. Start trying to do our thing. They play their Shieldred. We're going to play our Shieldred. We know that the coast is pretty clear. And Greasefang doesn't necessarily run that much removal. They attack. I'm okay with playing this mid-range game, so I just block. Let's clean up the board. Be able to use our removal for things that actually matter. And stuff like that. I just passed the turn. Opportunity to draw with Bankbuster and whatnot rather than just playing both Harvesters. Also, bluffing a removal spell there means if they top deck Greasefang, there's a possibility they don't play it. Right, still keeping up the 2 mana to bluff the removal and draw with Bankbuster. They go for it. We don't have the removal. So our homie dies. We're about to hit for 1,000,000. So we need the top however many cards of our deck to be really kind to us. Because we get the look with Bankbuster, we get 2 looks with Fable, we hit a Braid, which is amazing. Yeah, we're looking good. Get rid of the traverse. We don't really care if they play homie again. Pass the turn. We're sitting pretty. They just go Sky Sovereign. That's fine with nothing to man it up. Right. Kill that guy. Now we get to start jamming with Bankbuster, End Den, or we just play the cards from our hand and just keep drawing cards, which I like a lot too. Now we just need them to whiff. I mean, the thing is, like, even a top deck like creature that can man up Sky Sovereign isn't devastating. Is the thing about this situation. I just want more relevant cards. Hit a million lands, but that's okay. And we're trying to end the game as fast as possible. Now even a top deck Grease Fang isn't good enough, and we win. Look great. I felt really good about that game. There are a couple turns that it's possible I was supposed to advance the board rather than just draw with Bankbuster, but I like the bluffing removal spell. It kind of makes him think twice. Other than that, I think I played okay. Second round, this person was playing red-green vehicles. We keep the hand, lands and spells. It's not our best spells, but, you know, we're here, and that's okay. And I see this, I'm like, oh, sweet. Am I playing against Nykthos? So we get to remove the homie. Oh my god, we still might be playing against Nykthos. This is crazy. Maybe that's not really tech anymore. Now I think it's vehicles. Lovestruck Piece used to be tech in Nykthos, though. And we're kind of just drawing gasoline, by the way. Top of our deck is being very kind. I'd like another removal spell or two, though. They're applying a lot to the board, but we're pretty okay. And we draw the Go for the Throat. We get another look with Fable. Discarding our own Fable just because it's looking a little too slow. We kill before combat just so that they don't get a Pack Tactics trigger. And now you're like super stabilizing. They have no cards in hand. They're just 1-for-1 effectively. Taking the hit, go to 4 because that's okay. Is fine. Get a bunch of guys. We get the copy combo, which is disgusting. And cash in a little bit, draw some cards. I leave, leaving the mana up so we can continue drawing cards if we really, really want to. They have Crone War. It kind of sucks. But, we're able to capitalize on it a little bit. Okay, I'm actually going to pause here because I just saw a line. So there's a possibility that the line was to not draw off of Shieldred, keep the blood token. Because I would have been at 5. Then at 1. I would have gone to 1 total. Pass, and then use the reflection, get the 3rd blood, kill Shieldred. It's possible that was a line. I'm not 100% sure. This is really good, though, anyway, in any case. It's like getting a bunch of big homies. Get rid of the Shieldred. Just 3-for-1 myself. It is what it is there. On the push, I mean, we kind of just stabilized the board, in all capacities here, especially since they man up Lair. That means they have nothing. We get to push, and then we have access to Bankbuster. Like, 3-for-1 myself ended up, like, kind of okay. Feels pretty good. Access to another Bankbuster. There's not a lot that just kills me straight up. Chandra's real good, but we get to kill it this next turn. I guess, yes, we can kill it if we choose to. I don't know if we're going to choose to, though. I don't know why I didn't man up the other Bankbuster and jam. It seems silly. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that might have been a misplay. Magic's hard, guys. Really is. I think I just want to just draw a million cards. And now it's just gonna get out of hand with Shieldred drawing a million cards a turn. Okay, we just go face, Dreadbore. The game's pretty much over. Yeah, and they conceded. So we're up a game. Game 2, hand's okay. Bad if they have a bunch of mana dorks, because Liliana is not the best removal spell, but we get to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty disgusting. We Thoughtseize them out of the card that's going to draw cards. We also Thoughtseize out of their only even card, so that Extinction Event hits the most things, which is exciting. And this is going to be just a glorious Extinction Event. With Liliana the Veil, because Liliana the Veil, like, you know, kind of makes us kind of feigns weakness, and then also like fogs a little bit and whatever. And we get to Extinction Event away their homies. We get to cast our Shieldred. Dress does nothing, but we can just cash it in for a blood token and 2 life, which is really nice. It seems like there's initial, like, really intense burst aggro in this matchup, and then, like, once Red-Black stabilizes, they just win. Bit of a tilting draw, because Seeka's Chariot's disgusting against us. Noxious Grasp, good hit. Just jam. Of course, they mana Pasika's Chariot. We say no. Ugh. Big annoying. Now we can blood token Fatal Push Asika's Chariot. Just a tiny bit awkward, just because we got to get rid of Extinction Event, but I don't think Extinction Event gets a lot worse when we have to kill our Shieldred to kill the cat tokens. We hit our Languish, which is disgusting. So this is a big reason why we play Languish, right? Like, being able to just wipe the board, Shieldred lives. Where Extinction Event would not have done that, you know, if we drew Extinction Event there. And now we're just trying to close out the game before they get to do their thing. Ooh, barely. Barely. We win. Whoa, 2-0. Round 3, this person was playing Yorion Fires, which in my humble opinion is Red-Black's nightmare matchup. But remember, this is a 5-0 video, so I did win. But it's really kind of impressive that I'm able to win it all, because this matchup is just so bad. Let's see if we make any mistakes or anything on our way to kind of lucking out against one of the better matchups. So that's an obvious, like, attempting to tuck situation. And seeing Volcanic Spite, I was like, and I was kind of weird that they would just, like, hit Croxa with that. There's, I mean, obviously a reason. Maybe they're just, like, trying to hit land drops or something. It was really important that hit a creature. You know? And we get to hit a bunch of times off of that Bid Reunion. Now I'm feeling really good about it, because I have, like, removal spell. We have an active Shieldred that is not being answered. Skyclave, sure. I get a 4/4. By the way, we didn't remove in response because it's 2 separate triggers. If you remove in response to Skyclave, then it's gone forever. Just for the record. Just so as people know. We drew a card with Lockplane and drew another Shieldred, which is just disgusting. And we pass the turn and win. Woo. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm up a game in my nightmare matchup. What's happening? What is happening? You just kind of have a pretty normal start, but then they have their nightmare start, which just fires into Enigmatic Incarnation, which is just these cards are so hard for red black to beat. I'm like, maybe I can race it. Maybe they don't have another enchantment. Like, oh dear God, what is happening to me? Also, why did they bring that in? And now it's just, yeah, it's so over. So ridiculously over. Like, I don't know. I kill the Elesh Norn. They have another Tolsimir. Like, I don't know. Elesh Norn's so good. Like, at this point, like, I don't know, maybe. Like, you know, if they don't hit another enchantment, like, maybe Shieldred can take over the game. Okay. Like, no, we'll just hit Chain to the Rocks. It's fine. And then Kenrith, like, really seals up the game, and I just concede. Like, they untap with Kenrith, game's over. Going to game 3, we mulligan. I'm into this. Like, this is, like, fine, I guess, against Fires. You know? But they keep a kind of loose hand, you know, with a bunch of lands and a removal spell and Enigmatic Incarnations. We're able to take the Incarnation. You know, we play our Toon 2 Bankbuster. Maybe we can outcard them before they do their thing. They have to get really lucky to hit the Nightmare combination that we just can't beat. And we're getting pretty lucky with our draws too. Like, I'm feeling good. It's fine. Discard the lands, trying to hit gas. Drawing a bunch of cards. They hit Fires into Chain to the Rocks. It's better than Fires in an Enigmatic Incarnation. So much better than Fires in an Enigmatic Incarnation. All right, going off Lily. They discard the Volcanic Spite that we know about. They're kind of doing the thing with the Lily. You know, it could get better. However, they are able to Yorion. Yorion get to exile the Chain to the Rocks and kind of recycle it, which is really good. I don't know why this is taking so long. We break it. Get them reattached. We good? All right, okay, now let's play the rest of the game. So now they have Yorion, you know, just go like, yo, sacrifice creature. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to play a bunch of guys. I'm going to keep drawing cards. Like, you got to do better than that. Yeah, Elesh Norn, just like, fine. Like, I have no end of the battlefield things that are happening. And we can Extinction Event it away if we really want to. Or we can Dreadboard away. Also excellent. Yeah, choose discard Extinction Event because I'm just kind of getting ahead of it right now. We're trying to kill as fast as possible. We're drawing a bunch of cards. They have no cards in hand. And they just concede because we just kind of take over the game, which is wild against this deck because they're the ones that take over the game. That was a nightmare matchup. And when I won that one, I was like, oh, this is the one. Let's do it. We're running hot. In round 4, I played against the Mirror match. This is like a totally fine hand, especially in the Mirror. Reasonably Thoughtseize proof. You know, we're playing our cards. Doing fine. It's pretty much straightforward game so far. Blood Tide, Fable, Thoughtseize. We draw the Blood Tide, or sorry, draw the Bone Crusher, so we're able to play the Hive, and it doesn't like hurt or anything, which is nice. They discard Shieldred, which is like, what? That can't be right. Or we're just dead, you know, whichever. They just go like, let's go for it. You know, we can get rid of the land. Wipe their board, do the thing, jam in. It's kind of zero sum being able to discard the land. It means I don't have the Hive activation next turn, but it's like fine. Try to do Fable, and then see if we can get a Revolt trigger at any point, so we can kill this Shieldred. But we will. I mean, the thing is, we will get it, but it's not in our hand anymore. I thought about blocking there, but there's just like there's so many things that can go wrong with that block. I'd rather just like get a couple looks, take the Shieldred triggers with the Fable. And now things are going really wrong. Offer the trade. It's probably not great, but there's not much we can do now. We can do as much as we can to clean up the board, so a top deck removal spell is very good. This is really all we can do. Try to interrupt. They stop it, you know, and it's hard to recover from that. Yeah, we hit the land and I concede. I think playing high variance there and double blocking the Shieldred is probably the correct play, because at that point, like, you just need to get rid of the Shieldred or the game's just over. You know? But going into game 2, hand's pretty good. Kind of get a lot of value here. We go 2-drop into Liliana, kill your only guy. It's like really disgusting. They get their own Liliana, but now we get to kill it with Kolaghan's command and get back our guy. Like, sounds great. Do that. Value Town. They do the exact same thing. It's like we're mirroring each other. It's kind of miserable. Though I'm on the play, so I feel like I have the advantage. Get rid of the guys and get the Blood Tithe beats going. We have 4 blood tokens. It's insane. Taking on the world. And we still get the aggro. They go to 5. Like, hit even more. And we get rid of the Croxa that we're going to bring back next turn. Not a lot of cards that get them out of this. Looking for a removal spell. But even if, like, they have nothing. We just jam. Like, we just win. And it doesn't matter now because we have Fatal Push. Like, we could have just attacked there. And it's just over. Because we get the Graveyard Trespasser trigger. And then 3 damage getting through no matter what. So, it was dead on board, but we have to still have all these, them. And then we're going into game 3. Hand's pretty good. Got some removal. Got Fable. They don't have Thoughtseize. Love that for us. We get the Reckoner out there, but then they have the stock is one of a braid, which is like eye roll, dude. Like, such a huge eye roll. But it's fun. I'm like, okay, man, like fine. That was sequenced poorly. Definitely should have Croc said first, so they have less information. They don't know that their goblin is gonna die. So, like, you know, these are like match reviews, so it's important to point out stuff like that. Take the Fable, which is brutal. Now we just have a Fistful removal and Shieldred. It's kind of yucky. Into another Fable. Getting rid of the Crocs in their graveyards. Very powerful, though. Good top deck. Really, really good top deck. All right, gonna need some good top decks to battle against this double Fable. Make sure. Evoke Despair, like, don't know why. Like, alright. It's like, really need this land because we get to bring back Kroxa and just, like, semi-take over the game. But that Liliana is still a good top deck because then we just get, like, multiple removal spells on a stick. Which feels very good. I'm just going to do this during my upkeep. We're going to kill both the creatures anyway, pretty much no matter what my draw is. Still miss the land. The drawing Kolaghan's command, it would have been totally better to just like be able to kill a reflection and then make him sack and just take the 2 damage. So I don't know. And the Bone Crusher would have been in a similar situation. So it's really hard to say in situations like that. There are probably more good draws than bad for the situation. They have 3 cards in hand, didn't really do anything. Like, probably a good sign. Make him discard a card, get back Graveyard Trespasser. There's an argument for discard this Shieldred, because I'm on 4 lands, I'm just going to bring back Kroxa anyway. Thoughtseize you, activate Liliana, now you're literally top decking. I think there's an argument for that. They kind of do it to themselves here, though. They mean... Oh, to kill Lily, yeah. I really need the land now. They're like, okay, we hit, finally. Okay. Kroxa, you need a top decker, I win. And then I'm going to follow it up with Shieldred. And we win. 4-0 going into the last round. Last round opponent was on red-green vehicles, so it's the second red-green vehicles of the tournament. This hand's great. We're feeling good. Heck yeah. Like, oh, yeah, kill your guy. Untap. Play a land that doesn't matter. Go. But they had no spell on turn 2. I was just like, oh my god, like we're in heaven. We're doing it. And it's just like tempo city, card selection city for me. It's actually just disgusting. Get the ramp into another Fable. Like this is just like red black players' wet dreams is going on right now. We even get the revolt trigger from the flipping of the Fable. Oh, oh my god, how did I not see the revolt trigger? Okay, that was actually a misplay right there. Okay, so I need to point that out. So you actually, please pause. So you get a revolt trigger from the flipping of the Fable here, because it exiles and then comes back. And what I did is I did the trick where you attack with goblins, sacrifice a treasure to get revolt, and then fatal push. But I already had revolt, so I actually should be a treasure up here. Really important we point that stuff out when we do these game reviews, because I totally missed that. I'm just going to kill my own reflection. The Akron Roar does effectively nothing. Then we untap and get Shieldred the turn after the Akron War. Ah, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, friend. And they conceded. They didn't have a second Akron War. All right, I'm going into game 2, and we're up a game. This hand's pretty solid. We even draw the fatal push, which is disgusting. I decide that, you know, it's best served to, like, let's just kill the mana dorks. And I got rewarded because they missed their land drop and don't have another mana dork. And now we get to do a bunch of fun stuff. We're going to Thoughtseize them down, do all this stuff. I mean, we have removal spells. We have a bunch of Thoughtseizes. We're just trying to make sure that they are, you know, when they top deck, it isn't the end of the world. And now we're just like, we need the land. Need the land and the game's over. I said the land and the game's over, not all of my Shieldreds. Like, well, we need to kill that, so just make him draw again. But however, land and the game's over. No, not land and the game's over. And there we go. All right. Now the game's going to end. I believe my opponent salted at me. I'm not sure if... Yeah. They said, congrats, what a god gamer. I said, thanks, and they said, no problem. Joke's on them. I misplayed earlier, which they actually 100% saw, so... Yeah, we just have a fistful. And we win. And that is the 5-0. So that's the 5-0. Definitely pointed out some mistakes, but I think overall played reasonably tight. I hope you enjoy these video reviews of, you know, my successful tournaments. If you do, please be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments so I keep doing these. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I already asked to do that. Recording these takes a really long time, but yeah. Social medias above me in the description. You know the drill. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.